Not long ago, in a town much like yours, there was a young woman who was very happy. Until one day her heart broke so violently that her sorrow echoed through space and time. So our saga begins tonight, yet eons ago, just here, yet light years away.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Ayoto Corporation video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Sayonara Wild Hearts. Now, this video is a bit different from the ones I usually do for a couple reasons. First, I've actually beaten the game, which is something I'll touch on a bit later. Second, unlike most games I play for the channel, this game is not available for PC yet. It's currently only available on the Switch, PS4, and the Apple Arcade, though hopefully it'll come to Steam sometime in the future. Third, I'm doing this entire video in voiceover because the game's honestly too distracting for me to properly express my thoughts on why you should buy this game, seriously buy this game, in a more live format. So, the game is $13 on Switch and PS4, and I guess on Apple Arcade it's part of the subscription fee.
Long ago, a harmonious universe existed beyond ours, and 3 divine arcana watched over it. But one night, a cursed arcana intersected the astral highways, and along with her star-crossed allies, they stole all harmony and hid it in their vile hearts. Before the divine trio started to fade, they created a heroine from the shards of a broken heart and hoped that she would one day be strong enough to save their world.
So this is the base gameplay of the game. It would probably be best described as a runner-type game similar to Temple Run and those other clones of that game that were super popular a few years ago on mobile. But the game goes way, way beyond that real quickly. This is just sort of the basic form the gameplay takes, and as a result, the game is very simple to pick up and play immediately, which is good since it just kind of dumps you into the action right away. One thing I will note here, though, is that there aren't set lanes for you to move onto. So moving to the left won't move you one increment over and center you in a specific lane where the pickups are located. It might not be an issue for all people playing the game, but for me it caused kind of a few issues because I would always either over or underjudge my motion and either hit an obstacle or miss pickups and a jump. That said, the pickup range is fairly generous, it seems like, so as long as you're close enough, you should get the hearts you want to grab. Now, the game, despite being very heavily based on music, is not a rhythm game, contrary to, what you would expect. Or at least, it's not really a rhythm game. The game flows to the tune of the music that's playing, which is all fantastic music, by the way. But for the most part, your actions aren't required to be performed on the beat. There are a couple exceptions to that, of course, which is part of the gameplay evolutions that happen over the course of different levels. But for the most part, you can safely ignore the beat if you're rhythmically challenged. Between each of the major Arcana levels, you have these sort of subspace levels, which don't have a real challenge change to them or any kind of obstacles, but they will require you to pick up all the points that you can, because these are a level you have to beat. And some of the later ones do change things up visually or even add extra challenges along the way. Another major part of the game is that all the different environments are absolutely fantastic looking and just incredibly well designed. You have these gorgeous visuals, you have like great music to go along with it. It's just a great experience overall. The gameplay also doesn't stay like this throughout the entirety of the game. This is just the base, and the game rapidly evolves as you go through each of the different worlds. So, for example, later on, there's a shmup section. There's a section where you're like dodging blocks in first person as you go through like a cyberspace. And there's even one section where you sort of channel like a drift racing game, like an old arcade drift racer. And of course, the whole time that you're going through the game, you're going super fast, you're getting through all this music, you're hitting all the stuff in the way. And then you're met with your first challenges, the Dancing Devils, a rival biker gang. Now, this is the first section of the game, which is one I would say is probably closer to being an actual rhythm game, and you'll see why in a second. Now, you may be wondering, what button are you supposed to press there? Because it doesn't give you a real prompt, it just gives you a little timer. The answer is, there is no right button to push. This is whatever you feel most comfortable with. The game will just react to whatever you think is the right button to push, and just go with your flow. Now that said, the game is not perfect. It does have a few pretty major flaws that you should be aware of. First, the game is extremely short, like really, really short. I think my first playthrough was somewhere around an hour and a half long, so I beat it all in one sitting. It's very quick. Second, the game's levels are set in stone. There's no variation, there's no real randomness, there's no alternate difficulties or anything that would typically be associated with a shorter game like this to generate more replayability. Instead, replayability is limited to two things: score attack and hidden unlocks. There's a number of things called Zodiac riddles hidden throughout the game, which you can check on the main menu, but I'm not really sure what unlocking them does for you. For that matter, I'm not actually sure what unlocking them even takes. I got one of them by accident. I'm not sure what I did to get it, but I have it. So I'm not sure what I should do to get more of them, or even if it's worth going through all the levels over and over again to figure out how to do it. There's also a reward for getting a gold rank for all the levels, but again, I'm not entirely sure what that reward is or could even be. That said, I still think the game is absolutely worth the asking price of $13 despite the short length and lack of replayability built into the game. The levels are fast-paced, fun visually, and just great to listen to. The gameplay isn't too rough, and it just makes it so that playing through the game is just fun. You don't have to worry about trying to beat your score as long as you're enjoying your experience. And if you do want to go for your score, it's fun to do as opposed to being a chore that you just have to grind out and hope that you got everything. That combined with the ease of getting into the game and just the visuals and the overall experience makes it the kind of game that you can just turn on and have other people experience for the first time with you. Like, you can just turn it on, have someone hop in, and 20 minutes later they realize that they've just been zenning out the entire time and playing. It reminds me a lot of another game in a similar vein, Res Infinite. It's a game that's short, but almost impossibly the perfect length to just turn on, trance out, or just give to new people and watch them experience the magic the first time. Absolutely check this game out. You should definitely buy this game if you have either of the consoles that it's on, or if you have an Apple Arcade. And if you don't, wait for the hopeful PC release, because if they don't, like, it needs to be on PC for more people to enjoy. This game is fantastic. But I think that's all for now. Thanks for stopping by. Feel free to subscribe, check out some of our other videos. And until next time, Sayonara Wild Hearts.